welcome to this lesson on the great Stevie Ray Vaughan's Pride and Joy. This piece of music really shows off a few things that can really add to your guitar playing. The idea that your right and left hand together working to create a dynamic flow will really pull the audience into your playing. So regardless of your level of playing, these ideas that you can learn from mastering this piece of music will really help. Okay, so let's jump right in. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a chord that's going to be the 3rd fret of the B string and the open high E string. And we're going to really pick that hard with our right hand. Something we're really going to be focused on for this entire piece of music is we're really going to be going hard with the right hand. Okay? And we're going to rein it back in with the left hand. So we're going to take this chord, we're going to slide up from the 3rd fret of the B string to the 5th fret of the B string. Again, aggressively, not lightly, but hard, just like that. And we're gonna go just downstrokes on the high E and B string to really create a nice punch right to start our song. You can do upstrokes if you'd like, but I would, if you're going to do that, find a way to mute this G string. You could do it by kind of having your the top of your middle finger mute out this G string, but I always just find it more comfortable for me to just go down and really focus on just having the right hand hit those notes accurately. Okay? You can also use your ring finger, and that'll help with muting out this G string if you want to use your middle finger or your index finger to mute out the G string. Okay, but I'm going to be using my middle finger. After that, we're going to slide up again, this time to the 8th fret of the B string and the 7th fret of the high E string. We're going to keep doing that same, just downstrokes. There's a difference between and just in like a subtle way, but those details are really what is going to make your music sound more professional. Okay, so let's do the whole thing together. All right, really a nice gripping start of music. Okay, so once we're feeling comfortable with really hitting those notes hard and letting that high E breathe, we're not trying not to mute that at all with our left hand. We're gonna go back to that chord, that 3rd fret of the B string and high E string, and slide it back up to where it was, the 5th fret of the B string. Okay, and then we're gonna have this cool piece of music, something that you may not have done before, but it's a really cool idea to add to your solos, and that's going to be fattening up these single notes with a nice roll, a nice rake across strings. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a nice up with our right hand. That's going to go up across the top 3 strings. Okay, and we're going to mute those out with our left hand going kind of flat against the strings. So we're not fretting those and we're not leaving them open. We're muting out those high strings, okay, in one solid motion. Okay, so once we're done with doing the nice little rake, we're going to come right down again really hard. And that sound, that fattening of a single note, is a key part of this clean strat style that I personally love, okay? The other thing to keep in mind is that we may hit this D string, okay? So let's mute that with our thumb of our left hand. So that way we don't have to worry about hitting these higher notes either. We're really gonna be having that G string just ringing out by itself, but it's gonna be fat with all those muted strings. Okay, and we're going to give that some nice slow bend and bring it down and pull off to the open G and fret that 2nd fret of the D string nice and hard, okay? And you can pull that off to the open string if you'd like. In the studio version, he just holds that and gives it some vibrato, some nice heavy vibrato, okay? So once we're done with that, we're going to get to the nice part of the song that we're all familiar with, the shuffle. it's going to really have a nice heavy rake between all of the notes. So to get that rake kind of feel, we're going to again do like keep our right hand nice and loose and try to mute with our left hand all those high strings. Okay? So between all the notes, we're going to have that nice rake on these top 3 strings, muted out with the left hand, and nice and kind of sloppy with the right hand. Okay, it might be something that would take a little bit of practice, but once you get it down, you can add it to so many pieces of music, and it's really going to bring your guitar playing up. Okay, so the notes that we're going to play between those rakes are going to be the open E string, 3rd fret of the E string, 2nd fret of the A string, 4th fret of the A string, 2nd fret of the D string, 3rd fret of the E string, 2nd fret of the A string, okay? And then we're going to give ourselves an A chord. And do you hear I break that as well? And then after we're done with that A chord, we're going to have our E, an open E chord. Okay, on that A chord, you can get an A6 going there, which is the 2nd fret of the high E string, that F sharp note. That's not necessarily perfect, but the thing about this music is you just want to create an environment where you're hitting the right notes on accident, if you do hit them. Okay, and that's what really makes their playing, the Stevie Ray Vaughan, John Mayer, Jimi Hendrix, they all do those kind of things. They find themselves never hitting the wrong notes, and they do it with their left hand. Okay, so you can accidentally get that A6 going, or you could just get an A chord. Okay, so, but of course, if you want, you can make the A6 happen, or you can make just an A happen. Okay, so that part together. Okay, and we're going to do that again. So you're seeing my right hand is really going at it there. Okay, and that might take a little bit of practice. So you might want to just do this, muting all the string. Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to take, after we're done with that 2 times, we're going to go up a string, and we're going to do that same shuffle, this time up on the A string. Okay? And so again, it's 3rd, 2, 4, 2, 3, 2. And that time we're going to do the A6 chord, our A with the 2nd fret of the high E string as well. And we're going to come back down to our good old open E. So. And so the thing to keep in mind with this shuffle is that we're going to need to keep this low E muted. We're going to do that with our thumb on our left hand. So during that whole thing, we're going to have our left hand loose over this low E string. So you can hear I'm hitting all the strings, but only that A is ringing out. And that's going to create an environment for you which is going to be so liberating as a guitar player, where you don't have to worry about hitting notes with your right hand. You could just keep this going crazy and letting your left hand rein it in. Okay, cool. And then we're going to do our original shuffle, this time the low shuffle. Okay, cool. We're not going to forget about our nice vibrato on the last note too, which is going to pull us in as well. Something else to add. So once we're done with those 4 shuffles, we're going to do this nice little fill. Okay? And again, we're going to be really focused on hitting that aggressively. So we're going to slide up from the 2nd fret of the G string to the 4th fret of the G string, and hitting the 3rd fret of the B string. We're going to hit that again hard. And it's not the end of the world if you hit that high E. Right? But the way it's technically played is with just that 3rd fret of the B string, but focus more on the feeling than hitting the right notes, per se, whenever you're getting used to this song. Then we're going to have a nice aggressive slide down from the 4th fret of the G string to the 2nd fret. Oops, excuse me. That aggressive is going to be, again, a really important part of this song. We're going to slide down to the 2nd fret, pull off to that open G, hit that 2nd fret of the D string. Okay? Yep. Now, like, as you just heard, I hit that open D. What I should be doing is I should be using my thumb to mute out these top 3 strings. That's the thing about Stevie Ray Vaughan, is there are so many levels to add that I've been working on this song for a very long time and I still haven't mastered it. But anyway, so once we've done this pull off, so we're going to hit the open A, using our thumb to mute the E. And we're going to hit the 2nd fret of the A string twice. Then we're going to go the open D string, 1st fret of the D string, 2nd fret of the D string. Then we're going to come down to our 2nd fret of the A string, 1st fret of the A string, open A string. So all together. So we're going to, after we're done with that open A, we're going to do a nice trill on the 1st fret of the A string down to our 3rd fret of the E string. So again, all together, very slowly. Okay? After we're done with that part, we're going to have an open A, 3rd fret of the E, 2nd fret of the D. Okay? So this part, this little fill from the beginning. Okay? Once we're done with that, we're going to have an open E. We're going to do a nice little chord part again. We're going to go just downstrokes from the 2nd fret of the G string, slide up to the 4th fret, and fret the 3rd fret of the B string. We're going to go just downstrokes really hard on that, and don't worry if we hit that high E. Okay? Then we're going to do our nice slide off we just did before. So 4th fret of the G string to 2nd fret of the G string, open, 2nd fret of the D string. All right, so the fill from the beginning. We're going to finish it off with an open E, a low E, 3rd fret of the E, and then open A, 1st fret of the A, 2nd fret of the A. And we can finish that off with a nice B7 if we want. It's up to you if you want to take that next leap. And that B7 is the 2nd fret of the A string, 1st fret of the D string, 2nd fret of the G string, muted B string, or you could keep it open. It gets a little muddy if you let all those strings ring open, but I muted out. And then our 2nd fret of the high E string. And then we finish it off with the open E. Okay, so that's the lesson on this little piece of music. Really focus on this and really focus on getting that rake down and really focus on getting that thumb movement down. Now, if this is the first time you're getting into this style of music, it'll take a while. This is a really hard thing to wrap your head around, especially if you've been like classically trained to do things correctly with your thumb in the middle of the neck. But there is so much you can add to your guitar playing by using your thumb and your right hand balance. So if you enjoyed this lesson, please let me know in the comments. If you're into this clean style of strat playing, there are so many songs to add to your repertoire. So subscribe if you're a fan of this kind of content. I would really appreciate it. All right, I'll see you in the next one.